The Year 11 roadmap for Rainbow Six Siege looks insane. Today we're going to be going over all of the individual things that they've promised and placing them on a tier list. We're going to be talking about each thing as and when it comes, the things I like, the things I don't like, and just talk about the next year of Rainbow Six Siege as a whole. Now, as a whole, I would like to say I'm looking forward to it. I think this is a positive roadmap. Let's jump into each individual thing and talk about what I like and place that on a tier list. Now, starting off with arguably the most anticipated thing of this whole roadmap of, well, Siege over the last few years, to be honest, and that is Ranked 3.0. Everyone has been asking for Ranked 3.0, and Ranked 3.0 looks to be the best blend of the OG Ranked and what we have now that I've ever seen. Ranked 3.0 is literally perfect and is what everyone has been asking for so goddamn long. This is definitely going to be an S tier change if they pull off exactly what we want. Now, for me, bringing back placement matches, having it so the rank that you are is the rank that, you know, shows your skill, that is perfect. That is exactly what it should be. It shouldn't have been the other way at all, and I'm very much so looking forward to this actually dropping and us being able to get our hands on it. On top of this, Rank 3.0 also has bundled in a brand new highest tier of rank for those extraordinarily good players. This is something that people who are hitting champ every single season has been asking for a very long time, so that's also a pretty awesome W. Now, after Rank 3.0, we have the new operator coming out in this new season. We have Solid Snake. Now, this one I'm a little bit intrigued about, to be honest. I haven't had a chance to play it yet or go on the test server, but from the gameplay I've seen and just from the way the operator looks, I think he's going to be pretty good. We don't have an operator that does exactly what his role is. There are similar operators already in the game, which are like intel gathering, you know, locating people, but no one quite does it the way this operator does. I think it's going to be a good addition to the game. I think he is going to be strong. He could potentially be meta. He does also have a brand new secondary pistol as well, which is lore accurate to the Konami games. But overall, I'm really liking the look and overall feel of this operator. I think this is going to be a great addition to the game, and again, I'm looking forward to being able to play it. Now, after Solid Snake, we have the 1v1 arcade playlist. Now, a lot of people are going to love this. Put it straight up in S tier. A lot of people who have been watching, you know, Jinxie over the last few years, just content creators in general, 1v1ing, 2v2ing, that kind of thing, have wanted this in Siege. And to be honest, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think this will take away from the game at all. Those who want it will be able to play it, which is perfect. And those who don't want it don't have to play it, which again is exactly how it should be. Now, how do I actually feel about it personally? I think this is positive. I think it's an A tier addition to the game. I wouldn't quite put it up in S tier because obviously it is still interesting to see how it's going to work. Is it actually going to be played by many people? And if it does end up getting played quite well, they were hinting at adding a ranked mode for this as well. So we could eventually at some point have a ranked 1v1 playlist, a ranked 3v3 playlist, which again, I'm also just going to put up in A tier. These two arcade modes, if they stay and if they stick, are going to be interesting and fun to play. Now, other than these arcade playlists, let's move on to Dual Front. Now, as you guys may or may not know, this season is going to be the very last season of Dual Front before they remove the game mode completely. Now, this is actually something that I was a little bit disappointed about. Now, I know not a lot of people actually ended up playing Dual Front, but me personally, I did play it a little bit, and when I did play it, I found some fun in this. It was a very casual mode. Yes, it was very different, kind of built for those free-to-play players as well, but I would have liked to see Ubisoft experiment with a ranked mode for Dual Front. That would actually make people want to play it. In a way, it would actually give a reason to play it, rather than it just being a casual game mode to play that is nothing like the actual game you're playing. But am I sad that they're removing it? Yes. Do I think it's probably better for the game? Also, yes. So I'm going to leave this in B tier. Let me know what you guys think about Dual Front. I think most people just don't really care about it, so they probably won't care that it's getting removed. Moving on then, let's talk about Season 2. Now, the biggest thing about this season for me isn't even the Dokkaebi remaster, which I've actually forgotten to add down here. I like the fact that Dokkaebi's getting remastered. She is quite strong in the current way she works. I'll be interested to see how it affects her pick rate and stuff like that. But the next biggest thing for me is the new map. Calypso Casino, it has a lot of lore implications from the previous games, and I'm going to put this up in S tier. For me personally, I think new maps within Siege are some of the best, healthiest kind of content Ubisoft can be adding right now, and it doesn't impact the balancing of the game. It doesn't impact anything like that. If you're adding new maps every single year, it's just good content, and it's gonna last as well. Think of the old 3 new maps that they added, Emerald Plains, Lair, and Nighthaven Labs. When they first dropped, people low-key hated them and never played them, but as we've gone on, they have been evergreen content. People have slowly warmed up to them. A lot of people actually love those maps now, other than Emerald Plains. I swear that gets hated way too much, but I like it, and I'm excited to see another new map come to the game, and I hope Ubisoft stick to at least 1 new map every single year moving forward past year 11, because I think that's the best form of content they can add moving forward. After the new map, we have a new gun dropping in Season 2 as well. This is just, again, positive for me. This is an A tier change. I think new guns in the game is never gonna take away from the experience. I personally wouldn't even care if they use the same statistics of other weapons and just change the way it looks, because for me it's all about looks, feel, and sound. You know what I mean? Like, the weapon doesn't actually have to be meta changing and have different values to other weapons. As long as it looks and sounds different and it's fun to use, that's all I care about. This is an A-tier addition. Now, moving on past this, we have a new secondary gadget coming, I believe, in Season 4. And it's coming later on in the roadmap, but it is going to be an interesting addition. From the images that we could see, it kind of looked like, to me, like a little deployable shield that the attackers are going to be able to put down, which kind of moves forward, kind of like a ram gadget, but it's going to keep like mobile cover for you. And having that as a secondary gadget could actually be really cool. It would actually serve a pretty good role in this meta as well, and I think it would also do well, considering if you want to use a new secondary gadget, you'd have to take away things like hard breach devices, grenades, and something like that, like mobile cover, I think would actually get used on certain operators. Now, after this, we have another new weapon coming in Season 4. Again, A-tier change for the same reason. I just like new weapons in this game. We have the hostage rework as well coming in Season 4. They're reworking the way hostage is going to be working to kind of make it, I assume, ranked viable. So we could actually have ranked hostage coming in the future of Siege, and I actually would love to see it. It would spice up the gameplay a bit. It'd make, you know, maps play out differently. You'd have to play the game in a completely different way, and I like that. That's also going up in A tier, and this is what I mean. This whole roadmap for me has been W after W. There is nothing here that I think is bad. The only thing that I would say is technically bad for me is dual front being removed. I would have liked to have seen them experiment with that, but it is what it is. Now, moving on to the Season 4 operator. This operator has already been confirmed to be an anti-shield operator. The gadget kind of got teased in this year 11 roadmap, and it kind of got teased that it's going to be a direct counter to the shield operators. So it's going to be very interesting. I think that will be a fan favorite one. Just from the concept alone, I think it will probably also be a pretty good operator addition to the game. And finally, the last thing I wanted to touch on was native mouse and keyboard support on console. Now, I know a lot of people are just going to brush over this and not care about it, but for me, there are some underlying effects this is going to have on the game. Now, I know a lot of people complain about Zims and Cronuses and just illegally, technically, using a mouse and keyboard on console, and it is actually a big problem, especially in those higher ranks. And I think native mouse and keyboard support is going to make this a little bit better. Now, it's not going to fix the problem at all, because, you know, people are still going to cheat if they want to cheat. If they're better on a mouse and keyboard and they're going to get into easier lobbies, they will still continue to use mouse and keyboard illegally in console lobbies. But with that being said, there is actually a surprisingly large percentage of people who only use a mouse and keyboard on console because they simply cannot afford a PC, and having a native mouse and keyboard detection and support in place allows allows those people to actually plug in a mouse and keyboard directly into their console and use it, but only in PC lobbies. And I think that is going to be huge for those people who want to use it, because it means they don't have to cheat. Now for me, this change is going to be a B tier one. It's one that I'm not too fussed about. If they didn't add this, fair enough, but I think this is going to be a positive change. For some people, this is going to make a huge difference, but for most of us who just play the game regularly over on console, it's not really going to make much of a difference. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is my finished year 11 roadmap item tier list. So let me know what you think. What change out of all of these you can see on your screen is your favorite? Which one are you most hyped about? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.